Okay.
Hello, beloved, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. Today, we're pondering again the question of what is self reflection, and I have a wonderful guest, my sister Amelia, that's going to give her take on it and her perspective.
Okay.
So, today's question is how has self reflection evolved you as an individual?
I think that, first of all, seeing self reflection in the light of putting myself in check, um, getting the beam out of my own eye, so to speak, has helped me evolve to be a more conscious person. If I'm walking in God's ways, if I'm walking on that narrow path, if I'm pleasing Him with what I do and how I handle things and people. Um, and if you're talking about from the tens, tweens, and then 20s and the 30s, I would say I've gone from raw to
Right.
refined to more redeemed in how I do things, because I pause and ponder. I take self-reflection as a way of actually taking accountability for how I operate with things and operate with people. And if I'm being the kind of person, the change that I want to see in the world. So
Right.
I would say that it has definitely evolved me to be more conscious about how I treat people and what I do and what I contribute to my environment.
Right. And I think it's the point is you're taking a step back, right? Like if something happens, how am I responding to maybe how somebody looked at me or how they acted towards me?
Yeah.
You have to put yourself in their shoes as well because we don't know what kind of day people have at times.
Yeah.
We tend to think, oh, this person is being nasty, but what did they have to wake up to? What is the environment that they had to get ready for work or school in where you're putting yourself, again, not excusing the behavior, but actually putting yourself in those shoes to where, well, I see how you're treating me, but how can I respond a little kinder?
Approaching things with understanding.
That's good.
When you have understanding, you can give more grace, you can give more compassion. When you pause for a minute and think about the root of why am I responding this way or how am I taking this in right now, to where you don't make everything a me problem, you can respond to people with more grace and compassion. Like I love to give my husband that example of, hey, you might not like my tone, but is it my cycle? Consider the fact that you never have to go through this in life. There's something else there. Or I would respond differently to a person that might seem a little snarky and they have their leg in a cast.
Yeah.
I can tell that that's painful, that's uncomfortable. I consider that, on a day-to-day basis with my family and friends. Like, what are they dealing with right now?
Right.
That might be causing them to come across in a different way, and give that grace.
Right.
Like, give that compassion, and it helps you operate with more wisdom, and it helps you keep your own inner peace as well.
Absolutely.
It helps you keep your own inner peace.
And again, the key factor is how am I evolving? So in my teens, in my 20s, am I still handling situations the same in my 30s and 40s? Because to me, that's a problem.
Exactly.
That's a problem, and that's a maturity problem and a lack of growth if I'm still responding the same how I would respond as a child.
You should not be the same person you were 10 years ago.
You
10 years ago, you should not.
I
There
have
should
to
be
see
growth.
some evidence of growth,
Yes,
and
definitely.
a lot of times I find that people who lack or people who do not take the time to self-reflect, you see that stunting of growth almost
because they put all their accountability on what someone else did.
Right.
Sometimes that is the case. Deflection, exactly. Sometimes that is the case. But how have you grown from, even if it's just in your perspective? I remember that quote. It used to be one of my favorites, and I do not know who said it. Okay, Google might tell us who it was. But sometimes freedom is only a perspective away. So when we change our perspective and how we look at things, and that self-reflection of looking at yourself, you can evolve in a way of how you respond to life. And it helps you remain in your square, like people like to say. It helps you remain in your square and watch how you come across. And I really am big on it helps you maintain your peace.
Evidence of growth has to be there when it comes to self-reflection, when it comes to how you're evolving as a person, because I know for me, I always say my goal is to be better than I was yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's always, I have to have some type of improvement and not beating myself up at the same time, but am I a better person today than I was yesterday? And what things can I do? Because we're going to miss the mark sometimes. That to me is okay. It's a part of being human. That's going to happen. But what am I doing to make those corrections in my life to where I'm not the same, maybe short-tempered, harsh, brash person? Am I taking a step back as far as extending grace like grace has been extended to me? Or just being gentle, having a gentle heart.
Based off of what you're saying, I also see self-reflection then as a vital part of maturing.
Yes.
without self-reflection, you cannot mature. You'll still be that selfish, self-centered child
Right.
that thinks everything is about them, everything evolves around
Right.
them, and they don't have anything to improve or do. Everything's just happening to you.
Right.
You're not ever getting to the root of things. You're not ever looking at things and pausing or noticing where things come from,
Right.
so that you can stop either the negative growth of something or increase the positive growth of something, because you're just
Right.
not in tune
Right.
with what's even going on or what you're contributing to the world.
I agree.
So, yeah, true. I think it's about
Well, thank you for this little chat.
Yeah.
We'll see you all back here next week.